Go ahead, Andre.
All right, so basically what I essentially look out for is right now I'm on the monthly time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to understand the bigger picture. But on the monthly, I'll just draw a Fibonacci as to where are like the heavy support and resistant areas are. So on the monthly, my Fibonacci numbers are this. I got the 79, 70, 62. Those are the three main fib levels I like to watch. Are these numbers 79, 70.5, 62.
I've never seen someone use the 62. It's basically the 61.8. Why the 62?
I just round it. I feel like the 61.8, like you could save a few pips with the 62.
No, I understand. Remember, I'm educating you guys on what Fibonacci is. I'm not a fib master. Like I don't know the 70%, the 70.5. I see a lot of people use it and
Yeah.
it's respected. That's usually the retest of the breakout.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand that, but the other levels, remember, I'm not teaching you guys just Fibonacci. So
Right.
when you guys are exploring other Fibonacci levels, I do appreciate if you could educate the other guys, because I'm not spending the time at the moment educating myself on the different levels.
Okay.
I use them like that. I just use it as influence, you know.
So the reason why I rounded off to 62 is I don't like to deal with decimals as much, and I've rounded it off to 62, and I've been using 79 is like ideal setup for me when it comes down to the fib levels. So people are like, okay, so where do you draw your fibs? Do you draw it at the top? Do you draw it here at the wick? I like to draw it at the leg that breaks like the structure. So like when I identify this like monthly structure right here, it's been bullish, you know, for quite some time since 2008. Gold's been bullish, but then at around this point, I can understand that these two wicks represent my resistance levels. So I'm trying to understand which leg broke this whole bullish pattern, right? This whole bullish drive. The reason why I would draw it off of this leg is because this whole 1, 2, 3 broke this. It broke this low, broke this low, broke this low.
Yeah,
This is why I started off here, and then I go to the bottom, which is right here. Simple. So what I'm expecting to see from gold as of now is now this is the monthly, you know. So I still see gold going up higher, maybe touching slightly the 79% level before coming back down. That's just my take on gold right now. So I'm not like gonna be very very active on gold until it like gets near this area. That's that's me figuring out where gold price is going in the monthly.
That's actually what JL was saying on when he was analyzing gold. You could touch 1,500 and then do the drop from there.
Exactly.
And the
It's nice to see that there's some confluence there with your analysis and his analysis.
Yeah, and on top of that, bro, draw out this zone here for me, Andre.
Draw the zone.
Yeah. Perfect. Now,
so that's the sell zone.
That if it doesn't break it, yeah. If it does, then we will have to see what happens after it breaks it.
I see.
So zoom out. So measure. So let's always remember, no matter what level of Forex trading you're at, always keep in mind your structure. Once you lose sight of structure, you're fucked, right?
Right.
So here's the previous trend, right? And the last touch of the trend is the what?
Retest.
Is the zone, right? The same price where the zone is. You see?
This one. Okay. All right.
So once we have sight of the zone, right? We know that in order for the change of structure to occur, we need a retest of the what? The last highest low point.
Mm-hmm.
So if the market retests that last highest low point, and it also respects this zone, we have a change of structure now. And that signals what? A retracement.
Right.
The sell.
Exactly. So one of the things to keep in mind, I don't really preach it as much, but such as we follow a horizontal zone, sometimes you can actually identify a diagonal one in a sense, right? And look, the last touch of this trend line right here, see where I drew the X?
Yeah.
That is the same price as the last touch of the other trend. And pay attention, for every touch of that trend is an important what? Fib level that you have drawn out. So this tells you if the market retraces, all I have to understand is my previous zones to understand in the long term where my retracement levels are and where my possible long-term targets are. So when we drop down to a smaller time frame, all we're looking to see is if there's any signs of reversals or entries for that plan. You get what I'm saying? So this is tied into what I was looking at for gold. I had a possible target of 1,500. The reason I had 1,500 was for that simple retest of the fact that when the market broke the plane of the previous uptrend on the monthly, weekly, and daily, it never retested it. So I'm not the guy that's focused on that in Iran happened this or that. I'm a chart reader, you know? I read charts. Okay. So in the end, the laws are what? Every breakout needs a retest, right? And every fake out is confirmed by a retest. So in the end, if this is a fake out, then this has to retest for it to continue coming down. Make sense?
Okay.
So that ties into a lot of what I was talking about with gold. I like how they kind of coincide because, see, there's another little zone right here between your 79 and in between that, I think it's like the 72.5 that I think most people use.
Most people use that, yeah.
So that's another zone to keep an eye out. But as always, this is why we want to find confluence, because on top of that, when we start looking at fundamental reasons like that, you know, the U.S. bombed an Iranian drone and how that affects oil and gold and all this, you know, then we can see how that coincides with what we're seeing in the charts.
Makes sense.
All right, but overall, good job. Keep on.
Yeah, so those are the fib levels. I mean, on the weekly, you'll see the same thing, but much more clear. So these are all weekly candles. So I for me, what I expect to see is gold is still going to push on higher before coming back down. But again, like what JL said, it has to really like retest that zone it broke out of, you know. And even if it took 6 years for it to retest because it broke new highs, you know, even if it takes 6 years to retest that zone, it's going to eventually do that. It's just timing, you know.
Do me a favor. Open up another chart and pull up the DXY, the dollar index.
We looking at the monthly time frame?
Look at the weekly because we're paying attention to what the next few weeks.
Let me see if I can draw the fibs here and see if I could. Where would I break? Where would I draw my fibs from? I would start. I could guarantee you guys I would start from here because this leg broke it. Not this one. This one.
A good one.
Look at that. Perfect. 70.5. Good area to buy the dollar. It just. I mean, I don't know. That's how I see it.
Right here too.
You know.
It's failing, and on top of that, it's on a plane here.
You can see the head and shoulders. Yeah.
We can see a potential. I mean, that's a long time, but we can see 84, 86. What is this? Dear 70.5 again?
Yeah, that's a 70.5.
What price is that? 88.5, I believe.
$88.46. Yeah.
Yep. So pay attention. If it breaks that 70.5, your worst case scenario is what? Your zone right here.
Mm-hmm. True.
I did it crooked, but it should have been. Hold on. I'm just going off of price, right?
Yeah.
See that? So if the dollar index is dropping, right, that means we can expect USD to drop, which ties into what? Gold rising.
Mhm.
The correlation between gold and the dollar is when the dollar rises, gold drops. And when the dollar drops, gold rises. So you see me most of the time when I would call out a trade like gold, I'm also calling out the opposite for the dollar and the yen. You know? And one of the things that I try not to get too caught up on is how all the correlations work, because usually after you're selling the dollar yen, then you can buy EU, NU, AU, GU. You know what I'm saying? But you want to confirm that with the chart. You don't want to just instantly say, "Yo, I'm selling the USD JPY. Let me buy AUD USD." You know what I mean?
You know, but how do I go about getting like other currencies like that? Like I try to purchase yen, but they told me that since I live in the United States that I couldn't.
Bro, tú no haces caso, muchacho.
Muchacho, que lo que.
You have to download MetaTrader 4 and you have to set up an
Yes.
account on Google's way so you can trade.
I already have that. I already have all of that. You know that. You set up my account, guy.
Exactly. So we need to get you on that. That's how you buy and sell. You're not physically buying and selling. You're entering positions of buys and sells.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we'll talk about that because this is being recorded. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Cool.
But overall, so let's drop down to the daily chart for a second. Right? Look at that. You see how in the long term picture of the month, it showed us that there was like an overall downtrend, right?
Yeah.
Now, what are we paying attention to? Compress your screen a little bit. Perfect. Overall, here's the current trend of the market, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, uptrend.
Here was the fake out. Here's the retest. Now it looks like it created an inverted head and shoulders here. But if it can't break that fib level that you drew out right there, right? What are we paying attention to? What happens next? So over the course of this week, we have to see what happens for the dollar. Pull up forexfactory.com for a second.
You said bread too? What'd you say? You got it.
That's Jose's.
Red tube.
Oh, that, my bad.
Yeah, I guess Pornhub ain't popping no more, huh?
Yo, respeta. We got. Let's see. Janelle, how are you feeling with this? Are you on page with us? Not on the website, Steve. Crazy guy.
Good morning. How you going?
I'm doing well, Janelle.
I'm following well. Middle of the night for me, so I'm just catching up.
Perfect. It's being recorded. No stress.
Perfect. Thank you.
Click on more over here on to see the weeks. Right down under Sunday.
Under Sunday. What do you? I know where you see
Above your mouse.
Above your mouse.
Now turn left. Go up.
Right.
More. Perfect. So go to filter in the right hand corner. Yep. And then just unselect all the currencies. Leave orange. Unselect all the currencies and just leave USD. Apply filter. Perfect. So these are the only news events we're dealing with this week for USD. So what does that mean? So it's going to be strictly price action. There's not going to be much, like news going around other than surprises, right? Any surprise, because we know what happened over the weekend. So the important thing for us is to pay attention to how the market opens up. Make sense? So if, let's say, all USD pairs open with a gap to the upside or to the downside, right? Then now we know we wait for that gap to fill and then plan from there, all right? So what do we have here? We have a GDP, a core durable goods order, right? We'll do our research on these news events as the week progresses, because that's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to kind of get the flow of the market. So go back to the dollar index. So as we spoke about earlier, we have a current uptrend, right? Draw your fib level for me, Andre, from swing high to swing low of the previous downtrend, and see.
Here.
Swing,
If I were to draw my fibs,
Yeah, the lower, the retest.
swing trade means to buy and sell, right?
Yeah.
Basically like a pump and dump.
you said from high to low.
Yeah, the retest. Yeah, that retest right there. Look how it's rejecting your 79.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the rejection of the 79%, what are you looking for?
When it was rejecting the 79%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking also for confluences. I'm not just going based off the fibs. I'm making sure that, okay, I see something that I see a head and shoulders here, right? Inverted. So that just shows me that it might go up. So
Yeah,
I'm not.
Too. Don't get caught up. This is an index. This is not a currency.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there's a lot of things coming into play for the index. She couldn't break the retest level.
Right. The 88.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't break it. So this right here, that zone right here, where the inverted was in play, it had its chance to break it, but notice what happened. Zoom in on that.
It's consolidating real quick.
It looks like the bears took over.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom in more.
That's a sell zone.
You see that engulfing candle, and then the next the bullish candle tried to take out the bears.
Yeah.
It looks like they're still in control. Because overall, pay attention. Here's our average close of price around here. Right above your 79. If it fails to break that, the important thing is to see if it breaks this minor zone on the daily chart here. Breaking below, we can see lower price.
So hold on. I'm going to make a few marks. We sell here, and here.
No. Not sell. We're not looking for where we're selling. We're looking for what's setting up. So we
Can
know.
you see the arrows I just drew?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Anthony, real quick. On a retest, you see this right here? You see
What am I looking at?
You see how the market broke out of that red box I drew?
Yeah.
And then it came back in and then retested the zones that we have here?
Yeah, so basically that long red arrow, that was a sell. And then the second red arrow, they bought and then sold again to drop the price a little more, right?
Yes, correct.
I see.
You only want to sell at the retest. You want to sell at the top.
Not at the retest. So on the retest, you buy more, basically.
No, the opposite. You sell.
You sell.
If the retest is the top. If it drops and it retests, right? Like for instance here, you see how it dropped and it came back in and retest, then you buy.
I see. As it's going up, not when it's all the way at the top, right?
Correct.
I see.
You always wait for the retest because the retest confirms that the market is going in that direction.
That is going to go up.
Yeah, same thing goes for a down push, right?
Yeah. And then down is the opposite. As it's going down, you sell, right?
Yeah.
I see.
But so let's pull up USD JPY for a second.
This is the monthly. You want to go to the daily?
Yeah, we can go to daily.
What are you about doing that, bro? It's a fucking party in there, man.
So remember back in March, I said I was telling you guys, well, it was April. I said I can see UJ coming to fill the gap. I mean to fill the wick. Right?
Right.
Let me mute my computer. I said we could fill the wick. So notice what important zone we just broke. Plane of. Before the retest of when that wick occurred in that flash crash, I think this was January's flash crash. If the market, if let's say USD JPY gaps down around here, we can see the retest occur somewhere around here, continuation to the downside, which ties into gold going up. Now we're about 200 pips. We're about 200. What is this? Measure it for me from here to here.
From where to where? From where to where?
The retest over here of the right here.
From here to here?
Down, all the way down to the where the arrow's at. Was that 260?
270, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happen this week if everything ties into how we're looking at it. A lot has to do with the DXY, the dollar index, you know how that performs, and the Nikkei. You know how to pull up the Nikkei?
The Nikkei?
Yeah, JPN 225. So you see, the dollar index is dropping and the Japanese index is rising. On top of that, see here we have more of a clear inverted in play.
That makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here's the fake out. Here's the retest. You know, so now what do we look for? Market structure, right? Here's the last touch. Once the market breaks and retests above that area, right, we can look for buys. What are we looking for? Areas to pay attention to. Make sense?
Yep.
Market structure, as always, right? Last retest. We have yet to have a retest above this level over here. You know, if the USD JPY goes down, and it's because the dollar's losing strength and the yen is gaining strength. So a lot of this has to tie into what? We need a retest of the last highest low point of that previous uptrend. So that's setting up perfectly right now. I know we haven't reviewed this, Janelle, but let me know if that makes sense to you. What we're looking at are the indexes of the actual currency we're observing.
I'm all good. It's making sense to me. So I haven't seen the indexes before, but this is good.
Perfect. We're going to get into all this as a school and then through the mentorship more in depth. But this is usually how, when I open up my week, I look at the charts and I also kind of look at what correlates with the currencies and also what is driving most of the currencies. So, you know, we can learn how to read the European index, the British pound index. All of those, we'll start learning to read it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing because we're applying the principles of the charts, but we're just understanding how the correlation works, right? It's like kind of like a balance scale. You know, if the dollar goes up, then the yen drops, you know? And the problem is when both go up, then we have usually when the currencies have like that explosion in price. Jose, make sense?
Perfect sense, bro. We're good.
How about you, Furman? Andre, I know it makes sense too for you, the index observation.
Yeah. To me, it makes complete sense. And to back it up on that UJ chart, let me see where it was. You see how this broke structure? Because it was like on a typical uptrend for a bit. To me, I see this as an uptrend, right? And you see how this one broke structure?
Yeah.
Again, I would draw out that fib, you know, I'm just on love with the fib real quick, you know, and then boom, right there, 70.5, you Gucci for that sell.
Yeah.
Quickie.
So now let's talk Elliott waves real quick. This is on the daily chart, right? So on the retest, mark your first Elliott wave. On the retest right here, hold on. on the retest, right? So we have 0, 1, right? 2, 3. So what are we looking for? Which one's 4? If you, Andre, follow along with me with your Elliott wave tool.
Elliott
Yo,
wave.
what does the yellow line mean? I know what green means and I know what red means. What's the yellow one?
What yellow line?
Oh, that's just it's a trend line. It
That's
just,
the
it's
trend
just a
okay.
line.
You drew the trend of that right there.
Moves.
That just means it's just going up now, right?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm a little late, but I'm working.
Elliott wave, triangle wave, right?
Yeah, either one.
0,
How's everyone doing? Good?
Gucci.
Nice. What are we looking at?
What's good, Alex? No, we're looking at what we can expect for UJ and UJ gold, and we were looking at the indexes and seeing how that kind of correlates with our
DXY?
yeah DXY and the Nikkei.
Well,
So-
I got some analysis on oil.
Let's check that out in a little bit. Let me finish here real quick. Yo, and I hope you're feeling better, my brother.
Yeah, man. Little by little, you know.
Yeah,
Just
God
like
bless you.
like, you know, gotta go. Keep pushing.
Hell yeah, keep your head up, bro. Let's get this money
Yeah.
this week. It's gonna be a good week. So, Andre, decompress your screen real quick and identify your 2 previous low, your demand zones. I just want to show you how we can identify possible retest areas. So,
Previous demand zones.
if it helps, go to your weekly chart.
Yep.
And zoom out. Yeah, perfect. So notice what? So here's one, right? Low to low. Awesome. Right? Then we have from low to low. Right? And then we have the next one from low to low. Right? You following me?
Low
Yeah.
to low.
So draw those 3 zones out for me.
Gotcha.
And observing where our worst case scenario below are. So we're looking at important zones below where the current market price is to understand that now that we have a change of structure, we have a new trend, which is a downtrend. So with the Elliott wave, it's telling you what wave of that trend it's in. So now you feel like if you're at the second wave, that's the retest of the first initial move. So then from 2 to 3, what happens is from 2 to 3, after the retest, is usually the strongest push. So if the third wave isn't your strongest push, you know that after the market comes back up for the second retest, right? And that's your strongest push.
So after this one.
Mm-hmm. So drop to the daily chart.
Back to the daily chart.
Mm-hmm. I think you switched to gold by mistake. Awesome. Let me delete all my Scrabbles.
That flash crash really threw off everybody.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's still respected technicals. That's the beauty about it. So check it out. So if we have the retest, right? We have 0, 1, 2, right? Of this price right here. 3, 4, 5. Worst case scenario, right?
Right. Let me put it back. You started from there, right?
I'll do it again. Move it over. So draw your fib level again.
Hey, yo. Tired of girls' tantrums? Always.
So you see how the market faked out of here,
Yes, sir.
which was your 70. I can't see that one.
70.5.
Awesome. So on the retest, we have 0, 1, the first initial move to the downside, right? Then you have the retest. Then you have the next wave. So if this is the fourth wave of that touch, right? Then we know what? We weren't able to respect the zone here. So if the market breaks the zone, then we know worst case scenario at negative 62 is your take profit. If not, then the negative 27 could be your next take profit as long as it breaks the zone or breaks into the zone.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm just showing you how with what we've put together, your fib level, our zones, and our Elliott waves. And how do we determine this? All right. Do me a favor and compress your screen a little bit.
Compress it?
Yeah, compress it. And identify, I'm sorry, decompress, sorry. Identify the previous downtrend that shows us more, look more left. There we go, that trend right there.
This one right here?
Yep, that current uptrend right there, hold on.
Oh, right here.
That's a long uptrend, yo.
Okay, you do.
So you see how with this current uptrend, how the market is respecting our zones and your fib levels?
Mm-hmm.
So the question you got to ask yourself is, am I drawing my trend line from this low right here? Or should I do it at the retest of this low? You get what I'm saying? Because now we have better touches. So here is the beginning of that trend, which is the retest of that same zone, which the market, what? Remember in the beginning of the school when I taught, when the market breaks a trend, it usually retraces to the beginning of the trend over time?
Yep.
So where are we at? We're close to the beginning of that trend.
It did that in the flash crash. It just went through all of this. It went from this is all of when that was all of the year. That was a whole year built up, and then boom, screw you. Christmas is over for your ass.
Too many people made money off the dollar yen, so they're like, "Fuck you, bitches."
These bankers are hilarious.
How do you confirm that this is where you want to draw your trend line, the retest? Well, just market structure, right? Retest of your last touch, right? And here it is. Simple. All right? Let me make sure my computer's not going to die on me while we're doing this. You mind getting my charger from my book bag? So you see how we have to keep in mind of that 107, like 107, where your same fib level or the retest occurred? Because if that's the case, then this is the price. The beginning of that fib level is the price we have to keep an eye out for, which is 107. I think it's like 150 or some shit like that.
107.13.
Yep. So you see how it all ties in?
Yeah.
So now we have to see how the market opens to see if the market opens below.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're at like 107.6. I thought that UJ was gonna open up like around 107, maybe like 220. If you drop to the 1 hour chart, you can see 107, 230 around there, which is the average of this of that zone right here, right below.
107, 230. What did you see that? Oh, okay, I see.
Sell zone.
Buy zone. That's a buy zone if it doesn't break that.
On the red?
Yeah.
And you got to understand your risk, you know. You got to limit your risk. So if you're trying to buy here, you know, the next possible.
Yeah, it'll drop. That's what I'm seeing.
if it breaks it, Anthony, I can't tell you that's the best price to buy or sell unless market gets there. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
depending on how the market is developing as it gets closer to that.
Because like what I'm seeing is, for example, that big gap up, that's basically everybody buying, and then that big gap down is everybody sold, and then that red line is whoever buys that lost quote unquote bag, they're fucked pretty much.
Say it again? You lost me. I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm saying it's a clap.
So this is what I'm seeing. All right, see where the red line is. All right, hold on. Let me put the little marker.
Drawing it because I'm trying to. I see like 5 red lines.
All right, here's the red line. All right,
yeah.
And then here's the top. So I'm assuming everybody at the top sold, and then whoever buys the bottom down here would be buying the gap, basically. No.
You talking about this gap over here?
No. To the right hand side where where he drew that little red line over here.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to tell because the only way people are buying and selling right now is if they left orders open last week.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the reason why I say I thought that the market would gap down here is, well, a continuation to the downside is what? When the market drops and it creates higher lows and highs, right?
Yeah, like basically the market dropped and then people dropped like, I don't know, they bought 3 or 4 Bitcoins when it reached 9K, and then everybody sells and now the price drops even more. And then they're fucked because now they're holding a losing bag, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I see what you say, but I want you to understand the simplicity of what I'm trying to say. And I'm not, excuse me, bro. You have a unique way of seeing shit, bro.
That's not fun, bro. That's not fun, boy.
This nigga opened up a portal to like a whole different way of viewing shit.
I just like to see shit, you know?
Yo, the candles be whispering to him like, bro, not here. Yo, look, Anthony, what I'm trying to tell you is the simple laws, right? When the market drops and the market tries to come back up and it can't break where it started to drop, then it continues going down.
Yeah.
So here it is. So here's where it started dropping. The market dropped and it couldn't break back up. So you saw earlier what Andre was drawing, the Fibonacci levels. When you draw your Fibonacci level from, let's say, from the retest of the break to the bottom, you would see that these lines right here those are numbers that you see on your Fib levels that tell you the exact retracement area. You understand? So I'm just trying to help you understand the simple law of that. When the market drops and it comes back up and it doesn't break where it started to drop, then that's a sign that the market is going to continue going down. Now, if it may create a lower point, right? You saw here, I drew this zone here.
Yeah.
You see how right here, there's a zone? The market dropped. The market dropped from here to here, went below the zone, but couldn't break it.
But couldn't break the zone, exactly. So then the arrow shot started shooting back up.
It came back up, retested above the zone, and came up. Again, it couldn't break the area of where price consolidated above.
But too many people are holding, right?
Yeah, it was just the pressure was in favor of the sellers. So here, and what happened? In the end, when the market drops and the market comes back up and it can't break where the market started dropping, then that's a sign of the market continuing to go down. So what happened? When the market faked out, it retested again in the zone, and look what happened. It dropped.
Yeah.
So that's all I want you to. I want you to keep it simple, bro. Having a great perspective of like what everyone is doing or what blah blah blah. Yo, I promise you, man, you can make just as much money knowing all that shit or as keeping it simple.
Yeah, exactly. That's
know?
why I try not to like do 50 million trades anymore. I just try to stick to 3 or 4.
Yeah, 100%. Cause like I think it was Alex. He gave he gave advice to, I think it was Dean, and he told him to not look at so many different fucking currencies.
Yeah, because then you're stuck there looking at Bitcoin, at fucking Litecoin, at fucking Dogecoin, and all this shit, and then you miss the important ones. And it's just like, nah, man, just pick a pair, pick 2 or 3 pairs, and just focus on those 2 or 3 pairs, and that's it.
My son.
Yo, I'm telling you. Yo, if Anthony were to just listen to me, this guy would be a millionaire by the end of the year because he picks up fast. The dude turned like $7 in Robinhood to like $800
Options.
on Robinhood.
Robinhood, yo. Straight up Robinhood. And I still use it, but not as much.
But let's so overall we have an understanding of what can happen with UJ. We're expecting a long-term push down, like a sign of reversal occurring. I would say probably we may see some movement downward this week, and maybe a correction in the end of the week. And overall, let's just kind of see how the market opens up, and from there continue with the plan of what we develop. Pull up EU.
Ooh, EU.
And
yeah, I'm gonna have to call you, Lewis, later, so like that you can explain to me how to buy like euros and yens and stuff like that, because like every single one that I tried, I even tried like Dex Binance, and they told me that since I had American address, like that is not like authorized or whatever in America.
yeah, you got to use MetaTrader, bro, on Hugo's Way. Just put money in your Hugo's Way, and you'll make money with that.
Yeah, no, I still got like $3 in Bitcoin there or some shit like that.
All right, hold on 1 second. So, Andre, what are you seeing with EU? If you don't mind taking over, or let's Jose, why don't you direct Andre what's happening? I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Help him like develop a plan with him with the charts. Hold on 1 second.
What are you seeing, Andrew?
I mean, it's a bunch of consolidation. I mean, on the daily, it's really hard to tell where price action is going to take us. But like this heavy consolidation here, this box right here, is just showing me that, okay, it's not, this is a heavy supply zone. What am I looking at? It's been the choppy for Euro USD has been choppy. It's just been like holding this area. So it's, for me, I feel like it's a little too hard to trade on the daily because it technically hasn't broken structure.
Yeah.
Can
you pull up the weekly?
Yeah. So the weekly, right? This gap right here. I would draw. Okay, so I mean, weekly it makes sense a little bit more for me. I would draw my fibs pretty quick from this break of structure to the highest. So like, I mean, we're consolidating at the 62 to my 79 level. I haven't seen it touch the 79 yet. So in the meantime, I'm not too sure as to where it can go. It might just go straight up without ever touching the 79 because if it does touch the 79, to me, it just shows me that the trend isn't as strong.
Yeah.
If you have an uptrend and then it just bounces, like for example, an uptrend and it bounces off the 38, right? And it keeps going higher, pushing higher. That just confirms to me, wow, this is a much stronger trend than if it were to bounce at the 62, 70, or 79. You know?
I agree.
So
EU is one of those currencies that doesn't move much.
Rarely. Look at all this consolidation right here.
Yeah, bro. That's
Like,
consolidation there.
Tons of consolidation.
Look at that.
Meaning too many people are selling, right?
People are just having mixed biases about this. Not that too many people are selling. It's, I mean, it is on a downtrend.
You understand why, right? So now we'll take a look on the fundamental aspect, right? Like the global economics.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? The British government wants to leave the European Union.
That's one.
and what is it? Prime Minister May is having a hard time getting the Parliament or any of their people to approve that exit of the European Union. No one wants it. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel that she's doing this as a political agenda or whatever bullshit is going on over there. So people have been waiting to see what happens with that. So yeah, we've been seeing some up and down movement, but it has not had a drastic change to it because of the fact of that. So now translating that into the chart, all that consolidation within that downtrend means what? That wherever the market moves to, either up or down, we can expect an explosion. Like, I'm talking about like a 200-300 pip move, like over the course of a day or two.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So look at the last time the market consolidated at the top of your the beginning of your fib level, right?
Yeah. So hold on. Quick question.
Yeah. Look. What?
Quick question. A fucking pip is like, for example, when you say 250 pips, that means 250 trades. Like, as in, like, for example, I don't know, fucking your Bitcoin went up 5 cents. You do fucking 5 different trades like that. That's what you guys consider pips.
No, Anthony. A pip is a point in percentage. So a pip is when the market changes in price, depending on where in the decimal point how much it changed is how much in pips is it. So 200 pips on Euro USD would be when price went from 1.1200 to 1.1400.
I see. So like a $2 difference,
2
basically.
cents, a 2 cent difference.
Oh, I see.
On this currency.
I see. So those,
yourself, bro. You're way ahead of yourself, my dude. You gotta.
It's just I'm asking. It's just that I'm asking questions that my third eye is seeing before I even know what. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like trying to figure this shit out as I go.
Bro, before you feed the third one, feed the most important 2 right now. Nah, but you understand what I'm saying, bro? Look.
Yeah.
In order for you to get good, in order for you to fucking master Bitcoin, you know, like if you want to do Forex, understanding like the basics is important because now you're able to know and understand how much you're making money, all this other bullshit.
Yeah, like how much is going up, how much is going down, opposed to like, oh, today I made $40 and then this week I didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like learn how to make money basically every day. Like, oh, okay, I can make $3 today, I can make $7 tomorrow, I can make $10 on Wednesday.
Correct. So
I see.
What I was trying to say earlier is the following. You see the consolidation here and the consolidation here? What was the reaction after the market broke that consolidation? Look how many days it dropped for.
That's what, 2 days? Every line is a day, right?
Every candle's a day, correct.
Yeah.
Almost a month in a week. A week.
So they've been trying to sell, but the price has been rejected.
39 days she dropped. So over the course from May 2018 to July 2019, the market has been going up and down, right? But she has not breaking out of this structure.
Exactly. So meaning it's going to continue doing what it's been doing, going up and down, up and down, up and down.
Correct. So let's go, Andre, let's go to the laws of Forex, right? Or just in general of charts, right? How many touches confirm a trend?
3.
3 touches, correct. So we have 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah, so it's going to go up.
We have 3 touches. If the market fails to break the trend line on the 4th touch, what reaction are we going to see?
Uptrend.
No, strong push to the downside. If it reaches all 3 trends. No, listen. if it fails to break this trend line that we have drawn right here on the fourth touch, then we can expect a strong push down.
Or if it fails to break it.
If it breaks it, then we know that then we want to pay attention to each touch of the trend. Correct.
It'll go up.
All right.
I see.
But
I get
there's
it.
simple laws.
Yeah.
So now, let's talk about what? Previous market structure. So in order for this market structure to change, we need a retest of price, right?
Meaning a bull has to come and spend. I mean, a whale has to come and spend a good amount of money at that point.
No sharks, none of that. Talking about just simple market structure, right? When the market shifts from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? If this is the last touch of my trend, and this is also this can be also considered the last touch of my trend, I'm gonna identify that area there, right? Perfect. Now I'm noticing what? The market never retested here after that fake out. So if the market comes up here and fails to break this zone, then the bigger picture is that the market is, yes, going to go down.
I see. If it fails to break that zone.
Why?
I mean, if it breaks that zone, sorry.
If it breaks this channel, then we can expect a long-term push to the upside.
If it breaks the bottom channel, but if it breaks the top channel, well, hold on, let me get the market. All right. So if it breaks this, it's gonna go up. If it breaks this, it's gonna go down.
No, not if it breaks it. If it doesn't break it. If it doesn't break that zone, then we now have a change of structure, which confirms that this uptrend is completely over and we're now in a downtrend. Even though this looks like it's in a current downtrend, right? Yeah. If you actually watch the videos in the course, Anthony, and excuse me that I'm coming out rough, but if you actually watch them, you'll know that this is a bullish signal. The market dropped and we have a falling wedge, right? Lower lows and lower highs. That's a sign that the market's going up. So what I'm telling you is to understand how far it can go up if it does break the zone. If it doesn't break this channel because of the rule of what? If the market doesn't break the structure here, which is a descending channel on the fourth touch of that trend line, then we can expect a push down. So how many times did the market touch the bottom of this channel? 1, 2, right? This is not a touch. This is not a touch. 3. We haven't had a fourth touch yet. So if this is the trend we're paying attention to here, right? And we know that these are the channels, then if the market fails to break the trend line here on the fourth touch, then I know that I can see a push for the fourth touch to occur here and then see a push up.
Yeah, when the fourth touch hits, that's a buy zone.
Yeah, depending if it hits the bottom, yes. Because now what? So we're looking for what happened in the past, right? So if I look left and I see that this was my area here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the market hits that price area around there and it fails to break it, and let's say it faked out and it came back and retested. And yeah, now we can see a move to this upside of covering that area there. Again, in order for it to move all the way up here, right, it needs to break around here, which is that current trend line.
I see. So this is what I comprehended basically. Once it breaks this zone, this is a buy zone, and once it breaks this zone, this is a buy zone.
If it breaks and retested, yeah, because remember, a breakout is confirmed by a retest. What I mean by that is if the market
I saw that. I saw the lines. I saw it out there.
If it breaks above, then that's the retest. Then that would be the top of the zone will be a buy zone, not at the bottom.
I see. Okay.
Understood? Does anybody have any questions? Let's see. Conrad, any questions?
I'm just getting a better understanding. I'm just watching and I'm learning. I have a boatload of questions though. But just from an assortment of different things that I've seen over the last hours.
Yeah, go ahead, ask him. Don't be afraid. Don't let Anthony ask all the questions.
I mean, a lot of things came down to the index. I never looked at the index before, so a lot of that was new to me. So like, I was really interested in that.
Yeah, we'll go more in depth on that. I haven't released that part of the course yet because I personally feel majority of the students, they try to complicate themselves. So until you
I do.
basics,
That's what I do.
Until you can prove to me that you understand it, then I won't live teach you it until, because I'm not seeing everybody active in the chats, posting charts and asking questions. So to me, it just feels like, everybody's kind of like they just waiting for signals or whatnot,
Yeah.
But
While
index,
market's not moving, I be trying to like figure out the fucking like the charts and shit. Like I be trying to like read it and trying to see like the price movement works and whatnot.
don't try to just study the course. I promise you, it's gonna save yourself stress, time, and energy, bro. You know what I mean? But Conrad, real quick, my fault, Anthony. The index is the same laws and principles apply. It just helps you understand what all those currencies, that the actual dollar or the yen or the pound or the euro is actually doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if my dollar is showing, if the dollar is going down, then I know any pair that starts with USD has a potential of going down as long as JPY is stronger than the dollar. So how do we do that? We can either look at FinViz, we can either look at the indexes, we can look at, many different things. You understand? But I'll get into more depth with that. Now that I'm here in Florida, like I said, I am going to be more active with the webinars.
Okay.
And all that. So don't
I'm gonna
shout out too much. And plus, this is being recorded, so you're more you're gonna go back and watch it, and then you can start inventing on your own too.
Yeah. So another question about the recording: are you gonna put this on a YouTube channel, or is this gonna be in TPA website?
This is gonna be a public YouTube video.
Okay. And I have another question about the fibs. I mean, I don't. Your name's pretty funny, but
Andre.
You gotta say the name. You gotta say the name. It's not Andre. You gotta say the name.
No. When I typically, for one, I really like your levels. I already took a picture. I'm gonna add those to my trading view. But I see where you draw your fibs. Like when I normally draw mine, I would just take it from the recent swing high or the swing low and take it. But I see that you would take your different spot. And I don't know, what do you see that allows you to that makes you take it from there and not just from the top of the trend, all the bottom?
The simple fact is, I want to make sure that trend is already broken. So, let's say, for example, this is Euro USD, right? On the weekly, which is a lot more clear. The reason why I would draw it from here is because I call it legs. So this is, for example, like this would be one leg going down, another leg going up, another leg going down, up, down. You get what I'm saying? Like this is a huge downtrend leg. You see that leg?
Also explain to him, Andre, that, overall you're looking at the retest of the previous structure, what happened prior. So like when he says he's looking for when it finally broke, for instance, let's say instead of him drawing his fib level from up here, you see how the average is this right here? He'll start his fib right here. Or
exactly
right here.
Boom.
Okay.
Simple. On the retest, because what confirms a break or a continuation? The retest of that break, right?
Gotcha. So up top, that top left, it broke structure and then it retested. So that's why he placed the fib there. Correct. Gotcha. Okay.
And then so where would he stop? Where would he drag it to? Okay. If that's my move, then he'll look left and probably find that this is probably an area, or this down here is an area. Make sense? But
Yeah.
he's using what happened in the past, not what's currently happening.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like for example, right? Okay, so I see this, right? I let's say if I'm looking at like if you're on the day of, right? Let's say we're here, we're not gonna know that all of this is gonna happen. We do understand that, right? So I would draw the trend line because I can only draw and base my information off of what I've already seen. Right? So for example, if I were to draw my fibs, I see this is the breakup structure, right? Let's say we're on this day, right? It didn't actually retest this on the weekly. You might not see it on the weekly, but on the daily or the 4 hour, you might. It didn't actually retest this. So the leg that I would draw off of would be this. And then let's say I go to this day, right? You see how it didn't even touch my 62? And remember when I was talking to Jose Gonzalez about the 38?
Yeah.
How strong this trend was, this whole downtrend was. It didn't hit my 62 because in my head, if it hits the 62, 70, or 79, it's gonna be a trend that's going downwards, but it wouldn't be as strong as if it was to touch the 38. So on the weekly, I did this. This is if we're starting on this day, and then I see that okay, it stopped. It has an exhaustion candle, like it'll stop going down for a while, and it has 2 weeks of exhaustion, right? It goes back up, retraces, hit the 38.2. Didn't even bother hitting the 79, 70, or 62, and then just went straight, just flushed. And then all of this.
Why is that? Let's go back to what I've taught you guys about Fibonacci, right? The 38.2, right? Anytime the market fails to break above or below the 38.2, depending on the trend, what's always the initial reaction?
A strong push down.
Strong push down or up. It's always a strong push.
Right.
Right? So the lower the percentage, the stronger the push when it fails to break. Remember that rule.
Yep.
The higher the percentage, you will see a strong push, but it will take a little bit longer.
Right.
All right?
So that's like for you, Conrad, that's how I would draw my fib levels. It just takes a little bit of time and patience and practice, because for you to spot out like certain break of structure, it took me a while to actually figure out where should I draw my fib. Should I draw it from?
Let me make your life easier. Motherfuckers. I'm sorry, guys.
That's the gnats, bro. That's the mosquitoes biting you. You don't got that in New York. We got fresh water.
I'm sorry. Yo, decompress your chart.
Decompress.
Awesome. So we're always paying attention to the previous trend, the structure, right?
Okay.
So you see how he drew this downtrend, right? This uptrend?
Yes.
So all I'm paying attention to is the previous downtrend to that, right? So I'm looking at the last touch of that trend line, and look where I would draw my fib level at.
Got you.
All right. Keep it simple, guys. As complicated as it feels, it's simple. Don't forget, if I'm identifying my zones, right? If I'm identifying my zones, or I'm identifying my price areas, I understand what? I need to know my structure. I need to know if they've retested or broke out, right? And I need to understand what can happen and what had already happened. So if I already look at what had already happened, then I can start developing a better sense of what's going to happen, right? Here's a zone right here based off my touch of the trend. Where did the market retest after she broke down? The same fucking zone that it. Yep. You understand?
Yes.
Before that, here's my start of the trend, right? Where did the market actually break out of? The start of the trend, right? She consolidated a little bit, but the actual breakout occurred here. Yeah. So if I wanted to know to where I that can drop to, well, look left. Here's my zone. There's my zone down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the zone. And now I understand that based off what? I just got to look at the previous uptrend. Trend to trend. Right? Here's a touch. Here's a touch. Right? So now I know in between that, if I identify what? The zones in between that, I can see where the market will respect itself. And let me delete these zones we already drew. You see?
Yeah, I see it.
As that's happening, I know that the if the market breaks below, what? Here's my worst case. Here's it is. It failed to break, came back above. What did it do? Broke it, retested. Now we have what? Confluence. Look, we're starting to build confluence because what? The market broke out. It retested above the zone that we highlighted, right? And on top of that, we have a bullish pattern here or formation occurring, which is a bullish falling wedge. So now on top of that, we look into the smaller charts and see how it confirms. Then we'll look at the smaller time frame, build a plan, and bada bing, you're making money.
Making money.
All right?
Got you, yeah.
But don't be afraid to ask questions, bro. You understand that I want you guys to grow. You understand? And for me, the whole point of me wanting you guys to grow is this becomes A, more fun, 2, more easier because we got more eyes looking at the same shit.
Gotcha. Right.
You understand? So the goal is for you to not be afraid to ask questions, bro. This is what these are for.
Conrad, quick comment. Okay, so if I were to place my fibs here, where do you think I would draw? Where do you think I would draw the start of my fib?
At the
draw it on your screen.
About the 1400 area.
Where?
I don't even know how to use that. How to use that?
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. So, Perito, shh, cállate. Okay, so what I would do, right? I'd take my fibs, right? I wouldn't draw it up here.
Mm-hmm.
I would draw it right here. The reason being is this leg right here, this one right here, just destroyed 1, 2, 3 lows. Break of structure. This is on the weekly, by the way. And this is Bitcoin, right? So what am I trying to figure out? People were like, oh, is Bitcoin going to keep falling down? We've established this low here. And it hit the 79. Very simple. Hey, yo. Very simple with the fibs. So, like, what am I expecting to see? We can go zoom in on the daily. This is what it's been doing. Has it retested this area? It retested this and it didn't even break. It didn't even bother to go to 13,830. So what I'm expecting it to see is to keep on going down. To test this 8,000 zone.
Got you.
You know, and that's on Bitcoin. If you guys trade Bitcoin, then you guys know Bitcoin puts in a lot. A penny is like $1, I think. So
Yeah.
Be careful. Be careful with Bitcoin. That's all I have with Fibonacci's, and I just like it just makes sense, you know. Everything else, with what JL's talking about with the zones, and it just ties hand in hand with Fibonacci's. And if you guys get the knack of like understanding where to place them and all of that, then everything should become like very, very clean and simple for you guys.
Okay.
And you shouldn't be stressing over things like this. This is charting is also a form of art. So
Conrad,
Yo, what's up?
Andre's been trading just as long as you have.
Oh wow.
So I'm sharing that with you. What is that, a frog? I'm sharing that with you so you understand that once you start focusing on mastering the skill set like you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not on the dollar figure like we were, right?
Right.
You will grow. Andre, how many losses you've taken last week?
I was telling you, I think altogether I would have made 6 bands, but with all the losses, I cut that into 50%. So I came out the week with like 3,200.
And what job pays you that amount of money?
A stripper. I mean, no, because I'm a waiter. I'm gonna tell you my whole backstory. I'm a waiter, and like getting tips. Like I see it from this perception. When I work as a waiter and I'm making tips, I make like roughly about $120, $130 a night, which is like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm trading and I make like, let's say $500, $600. I'm like, damn, that's like 6 days working at a restaurant.
That's right.
And it's like, so you gotta think of it like this. Don't get too greedy when you're in profit. You know, let runners. You should leave some runners. That's why you shouldn't go full in, like maybe 2-3 lots. You shouldn't do that. You should go like little by little, maybe 50 cents here, 50 cents here. And
What's
then
running?
A runner is a trade that you leave open.
I see.
Yeah. So
That's another reason why, and to add to that, Andre, my fault, I'm cutting you off.
it's all good.
To add to that is why I tell you guys, pay attention to how much you're making. Like if you're making $300 a week at your job, why the fuck you thinking about $1,000 a day?
Right.
You are
That's true.
greedy as
That's true.
fuck.
Yeah, what about me? Nigga, I make $1,500 a day or something like that.
Nah, you ain't. There's nothing in your life you're doing now other than you trying to learn a trade, and you're already doing yourself wrong by trying to think like that.
Right.
You get what
I
I'm
know. I've been doing this shit already for 2 years already. I lost more money than I can even think of, and the only reason why I was able to keep on doing it is just because of what I do. You know what I mean? If not, I would have never been able to fucking learn this skill set like I learned it.
Yeah, bro. And
Are we talking about gelato or are we talking about strains? What are we talking about?
Nah, but you know, let's see. I don't want to give everybody. Let's see, Furman or Jose. You have any questions, Jose?
No, I just wanted to look at UCAD for the week to see what it's gonna do, and before we sign off.
Yeah.
You want to share your screen?
This kind of turned into more educational. I'm gonna in a little bit. I'm gonna go food shopping. When I get back, I'm personally gonna like look at all the charts and record it. All right. So I got a list. I'm looking at NU. I'm looking at UCAD. I'm looking at GAEN, UJ. These are some of the currencies I had on my watch list. But I'm probably gonna trade like 3 of them. I don't think I'm taking all of them. But I'll still analyze all of them.
I'm with it.
But yeah, what were you saying, Andre?
I don't know if Jose wants to share his screen. I think he's
Yeah, UCAD. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yo, Andre, we making money. This is the first time in a Zoom Jose opens his camera.
That's a
Wow. Wow.
Yo, people that didn't attend today have no idea what they missed out on.
Yo, for real, dog. Like, I literally woke up and I saw that link and I was like, fuck it, dog. I'm going to school.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I got for UCAD. She did go up. Let me zoom in a little bit. She made this little bullish run, but then you see it touched. Well, what price area this is? Hold on. So I got you guys.
So, sorry to cut you off. That blue means bullish, right? Like a bullish run or something like that?
No, the green candle. See this green candle going up right here?
No, I mean like, all right, hold on. This blue line right here.
No, that's just my zone.
Oh, okay.
So it hit like 1.31 and then it rejected hard and it came back down. So I'm thinking this is, I mean, it didn't move much last week except for, I think, was it Wednesday or Thursday where it had this crazy bullish run? And then it came back down. So I'm thinking this is the week where it's finally gonna break below and make that hard push.
Yes, sir.
To maybe 1.28. I think that's what JL was looking at too.
I see that happening.
Yeah.
I really see that happening.
Which for me, this will be the corrective. This is wave C of the corrective wave on the Elliott.
When you put your 0, where do you put it? You put it at the high or?
So it'll be 0, A, B, then C on the push. But this was before. I mean, I did this. This chart is from like 2 weeks ago. So this is what I had doing, and look how it respected all these areas here, and it came back up, and that's where it ended the week.
So now we're looking.
So now we're looking live. Now I'm thinking that this is the week where it's going to finally break. Make the hard break downward.
Right.
In 1.28.
I could see that happening, but
You see anything else, Andrew?
on that, I see. Yeah, the way that your zones are set up, yeah, I could see that heavily dropping. But I think we have to look at the DX with the DXY confluence. Yeah, I think
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just I would look out for a like a retest of this area right here, of that top of the blue zone, the one that you have where B is.
Yeah.
They might spike it to the top side, giving buyers like hope that it might keep on rising, and then just flush down. Remember, we're going against banks, so these guys want to take our money. They want us to
exactly.
So like we have to be really conservative most of the time, and just really look into it where we know for like a 99% chance that it's gonna go our way.
Right.
All probability in this.
I mean, I can't. It's a strong possibility, but I can't blindly say, okay, this is what's going to happen. Because
Right.
you have to look at the index, and we got to see what the dollar's going to do.
Exactly.
And then look for confirmations.
Exactly. So we just have to wait for those news that's coming up this week.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you're looking at USD CAD, so I would look at. I mean, USD CAD is also in confluence with oil. So like, if oil's going up, UCAD is coming down.
Yeah.
And we know what. I wouldn't be surprised to see that UCAD opens up, gaps down, because there's been oil news like something about Iran and them blaming us about certain things like that. But I wouldn't be surprised to see oil gap up in the next 4 hours, because I know the market opens up at 5 here. So.
Yeah, and then I think Alex was on earlier, but I think he got off. He has thoughts on oil. So he's been watching it heavy.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got, y'all. What y'all got?
So JL
JL, you good?
making weed deals.
No, hombre, on mute. Ahí going.
Se fue a hacer la faja.
Tell him what deals he making. He making it with Pablo Escobar. Oh wait,
that's what it is, huh?
It's all good. Does anybody have any questions? Jose Furman, you good?
This one was a really good one. Like, I learned a lot.
Yeah. You know,
I'm just ready to apply it right now.
My man Andre, prodigy of Wake Up Now.
Yo, why you spitting that flames for, bro?
Hey.
Yo, bro, I lost tons of friends.
I'm proud of you guys, man. I'm proud of you guys. Thank you guys for hopping on. Conrad, I'm literally, as soon as I end this video, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube.
Okay.
And I'll post the link in the school. But Furman, I didn't hear you ask any questions, bro. Where you at?
I'm here. I'm just absorbing it like a sponge. I'm just trying to collect everything as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't want you just absorbing. I want you asking questions too. I didn't hear you asking questions, and I know some things you're not understanding. So, is there anything we can clear up before we end this?
Nah. I'm gonna rewatch the video again because I left real quick to get something to eat, and then I came back because I was just jumping on and off. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'll rewatch it. But I definitely got some things there that I seen that I understood when you was explaining the retest and when it breaks out that channel, if it's gonna go up and or if it's gonna come down, stuff like that. So I'll just rewatch the video.
Awesome. And let's thank Andre for dedicating some time with us today. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Proud of you, man. From when you first joined the academy to now, you have made tremendous strides, my brother.
Yeah, man. Still learning. Still a student to the game, no matter what.
Amen.
I gotta come to Florida, yo. Me and Jose gotta come to Florida.
You both dabbed at the same time.
That's that, you know.
Nah, yo, Jose's coming in August, so if you know.
Word?
Yeah, man.
We'll have to catch a flight.
Hey.
We got some big things working over here, so let's get this money, guys.
All right, yo.
I'll see you guys. I'll send the market overview before tonight's evening. And I'm thinking, let me see. I'm gonna be running the 9 a.m. webinars all week, so I'm gonna try to be up a little earlier to like start them around 7. Yeah, let's get to work, guys. A lot of work in front of us. All right.
All right.
You guys, God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you too. Everybody have a good Sunday. Stay cool if you're in New York, man. It's hot out here.
Hot as hell, man.
Grab a bacon, egg, and cheese. All right,
Later, guys.